They said that it was important for his family to receive grace and privacy during his death or during their mourning. And look, I actually don't think that that's the worst request somebody could make. You know, um, I don't think it's an unreasonable ask, even for OJ Simpson. I'll tell you why I say even for OJ Simpson, because I know a lot. Orenthal James Simpson succumbed to his battle with cancer. I didn't even know OJ had cancer. And there are people out there who say that when you die, you got to give them some mourning time. You got to give them some grace. You got to give them a moment to breathe. I say absolutely not. Y'all know OJ Simpson because OJ Simpson was a terrible person. So do not celebrate him and do not protect him. OJ Simpson is a monster, not a martyr.
What to do, what the business is, people. It's your boy That Way with Jack Travis. Jack Travis to be precise. Now, you know how we doing. You know how we doing it, man. Back in the building again. I got a nice little piece of footage as always, man. In my targets, in my sights, this here go round is a one Marc Lamont Hill. Now, let me just say, I rock with Marc. I think he was on the griot. He's been on a couple of black leading news stations and things like that. I used to get frustrated when I saw him on the little show with Joy Gray. What is her name? Because Marc will get caught up on this in his emotions. And it's like when he finally did get it out, he would have some good points, man. But I used to get frustrated because I'm like, come on, man. In your hesitation, he would allow people to kind of get in and say some dumb shit, what have you. But this time, Mr. Marc Lamont Hill himself decided to be the one to step out there, man. As you all know, a one Orenthal James, is he a junior? OJ died the other day at 76 years old. Now, OJ has been a controversial figure. We all know about the trial over the murder of his wife and Ron Goldman, Nicole Simpson, Ron Goldman. We know that he was found not guilty. Later on down the line, there was a robbery at a motel over some memorabilia, things like that. He was convicted of that, and I think he did about 20, 25 years. Of course, that was payback for him getting off on the murders. And me personally, after watching a lot of different documentaries, this, that, and the third, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't think OJ did it, man. I saw a good documentary about this white guy that ended up being a serial killer that was working for them, supposedly. And it was very well put together, man. It wasn't too long ago when it came out. It was pretty convincing to me. So I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold OJ like that. You dig what I'm saying? Apparently, Mr. Hill does not feel the same. And so we have about a 30, 31 minute clip. Mr. Hill immediately took to the airwaves as soon as OJ got up out of here. Now, I'll say, man, there may be people out here that I would like to go and take a photo at their passing, but death is a serious thing, man. It's nothing to joke about, bro, because for as many jokes as we could make, there are real people connected to this man that don't appreciate the jokes. And I thought Mr. Marc, even though he didn't have jokes, I thought he was completely out of place. But we're gonna get into these clips, man. And I'm gonna jump in from time to time with my little opinion. You dig what I'm saying? So here we go, man. Let's see what Mr. Marc Lamont Hill has got to say. And here we go.
Peace, family. It's your brother, Marc Lamont Hill. You're watching the Marc Lamont Hill official YouTube channel. I'm so grateful, so grateful to see y'all here. So grateful to see y'all here on the channel because we are dealing with some important stuff. Today, it was announced that OJ Simpson, y'all know him for a lot of reasons. OJ Simpson has passed away. OJ Simpson has passed away at the age of 76 years old. Important stuff. Today, it was announced that OJ Simpson Y'all know him for a lot of reasons. OJ Simpson has passed away. OJ Simpson has passed away at the age of 76 years old. Apparently, OJ Simpson was dealing with cancer, and his family took to Twitter to let us know. They took over OJ's Twitter account, and they said that OJ Simpson had died of cancer. They said that it was important for his family to receive grace and privacy during his death or during their mourning. And look, I actually don't think that that's the worst request somebody could make. You know, I don't think.
All right, I'm gonna jump in real quick, man. I'm not even when I started this interview, when I first clicked into it, I'm like, man, I don't even like his angle. He just said that the family took to Twitter and asked for grace in the moments after OJ's pass, and they want to chill. They want to get their shit together. You dig what I'm saying? He said, I don't think that's a bad request. Like, why would you even validate a request like that, bro? Their loved one just died. It's not even up to you to decide how valid of a request it is. So again, as soon as I clicked into the video, I'm just like, man, Mr. Green Party is going crazy, man. And I've been fucking with Mark here lately. He launched his own little channel. He been doing some debates and some with some chuds, and he been getting it in. So I've been rocking with it, my friend. You dig what I'm saying? But you know, this is not a safe space over here on That Way with Jack Travis. Anybody can get it. Let's continue.
It's an unreasonable ask, even for OJ Simpson. I'll tell you why I say even for OJ Simpson, because I know a lot of y'all out there have very strong feelings about OJ Simpson. Look, I have very strong feelings about OJ Simpson. And because I have strong feelings about OJ Simpson, um, it becomes challenging sometimes to have the proper balancing act of how to afford him the same things that everybody is deserved, and at the same time holding him accountable for some of the awful things that OJ Simpson has done. You see here his family sending him the note, or sending us the note: on April 10th, our father, Orenthal James Simpson, succumbed to his battle with cancer. I didn't even know OJ had cancer. He was surrounded by his children and grandchildren. During this time of transition, his family asks that you please respect their privacy. Say absolutely not. When Ronald Reagan died,
Now let's take note. Let's take note. Marc Lamont Hill just said, I didn't even know that OJ had cancer. Now, just understand cancer is a motherfucker. Fuck cancer. That's a terrible thing to have. You understand? Notwithstanding all the other things that I'm gonna go down the list about OJ that Mark is off base on, but he just acknowledged that the man died of cancer. He also acknowledged that he had no idea that he had cancer. So it doesn't sound like he's doing a lot of keeping up with OJ, a sentiment that I think he's going to continue to reinforce as we go through this video. But just bear in mind the couple statements he just made. Let's keep going.
I wasn't giving him a minute. When John McCain died, I thought it was fine for people to have a critique. Now, I think that if it's somebody in our community who is beloved and who we care about and who we adore, then yeah, I think we don't have to nitpick at their legacy at the moment that their body is still going into the ground. But we're not talking about somebody who with whom we're picking nits. We're talking about a different kind of story. For y'all young people out here watching, OJ Simpson is one of the most complicated figures that you'll ever hear. He starts off as a football legend. OJ Simpson is by far one of the greatest running backs we've ever seen. For me, there's Barry Sanders, there's Walter Payton, there's Jim Brown. You know what I mean? You say some people say Gale Sayers. There's Orenthal James Simpson. OJ Simpson played 11 seasons in the NFL. One of the greatest running backs of all time. Elite to be sure. He was a football star, Heisman Trophy winner for the USC Trojans. He was the man in every form and fashion. But for a lot of us, that ain't why we know OJ Simpson. After OJ Simpson left football, some of y'all know him from running through the airport, those Avis commercials. But that ain't how we know OJ Simpson. Some of y'all know him from the movies. He was great in Airplane. He was great in The Naked Gun. I used to crack up watching him in those Leslie Nielsen films. You know why? Because he was a great actor, a great comedic actor, surprisingly. But that ain't why you know OJ Simpson. Y'all know OJ Simpson because OJ Simpson was a terrible person. Let's just say it. OJ Simpson was a terrible person. And as we talk about OJ Simpson right now, it is important that we remember that OJ Simpson was a terrible person.
All right. So here we go. We got the ball rolling. You don't know how anybody knows. I mean, okay. Of course, the trial was a huge thing. Of course, everybody, it was a big time race thing. The black people were happy that in our perspective, uh, a black man wasn't railroaded by the system. White people were mad because, of course, white people got killed, and this black man didn't get convicted. So it was a particular time. It was very close to the Rodney King incident. You dig what I'm saying? You don't really know how people know OJ and what they love him for. As he's speaking as if he's a gauge of the culture, because he was like, when we're speaking about people that we love and we revere, then we won't nitpick their legacy. But he's like, we're not. OJ's not a person that we love and revere. So what says who, bro? I hadn't heard anybody bad mouthing OJ even since the trial. White people, yeah, but I hadn't heard. You know what I'm saying? He didn't get found guilty. Let's remember that. He was found not guilty in the court of law. Mark Furman was implicated in planting evidence. There was a lot of fishy stuff to the trial. So for Mark, like he's a horrible person, what made him a horrible person? Now he's gonna go on to say what he thinks makes him a horrible person, but let's be clear. The double homicide, OJ was not convicted of that, man. Let's keep rolling, Jack.
We shouldn't be talking about him as a hero. We shouldn't be talking about him as a martyr. We shouldn't even be talking about him as a football player. Now, if his kids want to do that, if his grandkids want to do that, if people who love him want to do that, that's fine. And if you will personally want to do that, that's fine. But you can't hold us as a community accountable, or you can't demand from us a standard of care for OJ Simpson. Race, you know why? Because the kids didn't do anything wrong.
Now, you know what can't happen? You can't speak for us as a community. You can't tell us, what is he talking about? Like, first of all, did anybody see a OJ's Dead parade? We love OJ. He's another George Floyd. I don't even know where he got his whole angle. Did he see some celebrations, or did somebody dedicate a day to OJ or something? Somebody go get some OJ tattoos? Like, I don't even know what he's on about. You dig what I'm saying? You can't hold us as a culture as if like they out here saying, "Oh, look at." I mean, I don't even know what he's talking about, man. Let me let's just make it to you.
Off as a football legend, OJ Simpson is by far one of the greatest running backs we've ever seen. For me, there's Barry Sanders, there's Walter Park, of friends. He created a social network that was filled with white people. Was a terrible person. Let's just say it. OJ Simpson was a terrible person. And as we talk about OJ Simpson right now, it is important that we remember that OJ Simpson was a terrible person. We shouldn't be talking about him as a hero. We shouldn't be talking about him as a martyr. We shouldn't even be talking about him as a football player. Now, if his kids want to do that, if his grandkids want to do that, if people who love him want to do that, that's fine. And if you will personally want to do that, that's fine. But you can't hold us as a community accountable, or you can't demand from us a standard of care for OJ Simpson that he has never demonstrated himself for anybody. What do I mean by that? Well, OJ Simpson is not a person who is our kind. As the old folks say, everybody your color ain't your kind. OJ Simpson became famous.
Whoa. Did you all hear that huge sigh? Now, see, after watching this one time, this was his opportunity to make a pivot and be forthright. You dig what I'm saying? It was a long sigh. He knew he was about to step out through there. But I'm gonna tell you something about this content creation space, bro. Now, in his case, he already had a platform, so he's got a built-in audience. So the clicks shouldn't necessarily excite him the way, like, say, a person like me. You dig what I'm saying? Coming up out the mud. But I can tell you, bro, because as far as YouTube, clicks and likes actually mean something. You dig what I'm saying? Now, other sites pay out and stuff like that, but man, it feel real on YouTube. So it's like, man, it's easy to fall into a space of clickbait. You dig what I'm saying? And have some hot takes because you feel like, you know, it'll be forgot about tomorrow. You put another video out, but yeah, man, he I think that's what that side was all about. He like, man, I could pause right here and do it the right way, but nah, I kind of like them YouTube checks. So continue on, Jack.
Moved to LA, moved to Brentwood, and created a network of friends. He created a social network that was filled with white people. Filled with white people. Now, nothing wrong with having white friends. But OJ Simpson didn't have white friends. He created a white reality. As somebody said, when he jumped in that Bronco, that white Bronco, and was running from the cops, that was not the first time, as Michael Eric Dyson said, that he used a white vehicle to escape a black reality.
Oh my
OJ
God.
wanted no parts of black
Oh
people.
my God.
OJ wanted no parts of the black community. OJ.
Again, people, OJ Simpson died at 76 years old of cancer. Who gives a damn that he had a white wife or what he had to do with Black America, bro? It ain't like we run around building statues. What made this man want to go out there and jump off the bridge about OJ? Like, I don't even get it. It don't even make good sense. What's the point? He's dead, bro. If you would, for the level of disdain that he's showing for OJ, you would have thought that he made a video about OJ, you know, years ago when OJ was actually going through these trials or when he was in jail. I bet you'd be hard pressed to find a cover story or expose or whatever the hell about Marc Lamont Hill about Orenthal James Simpson. What is it? What is even the point? Let's go, man.
Did not want to live among us. He didn't want to date us. His first wife was black. Was it Marguerite was her name? Is that right? His first wife was black. But after that,
I'm sorry. I gotta jump back in. Who's out there familiar with a basketball player by the name of Kobe Bryant? Huh? Kobe Bryant did not have a black wife. Did we disown him after he died? Oh, what about, let's say, a Kevin Garnett? Now, Kevin Garnett isn't dead, but who out there has ever been like, man, we won't fuck with KG, he got a white wife? Like, what is he talking about? This shit is irritating, man.
First wife, after that starter wife, OJ went white. He had white friends. The reason he's all bound up in the Kardashian world is because he chose a white reality. OJ.
Again, I know y'all gonna be so irritated at me. He's talking about his circle of friends. We do know that his best friend was named Al Cowlins, a black guy that was driving around in the Bronco, right? How does Marc Lamont Hill know who his circle of friends were? This shit is irritating, man. Oh my God.
Wanted no parts of us. Black people love to forgive people. We love to embrace our own. We love to celebrate our own. We love to extol the virtues of the people in our world. The problem, again, family, is OJ ain't in our world. So do not celebrate him and do not protect him. 77 Figures wrote in and said, OJ said, if it ain't snowing, shit, I ain't going. That's right. If it ain't white people there, he don't want no parts of that. So that's the first reason we shouldn't be celebrating OJ. We shouldn't make him a hero. We shouldn't make him a martyr, right? OJ Simpson is a monster, not a martyr. It's a bar. You know, I'm gonna write that down. OJ Simpson was a monster, not a martyr. I like that. I like that. Y'all like that? I like that. OJ Simpson was a monster, not a martyr. That's for number one. Number two, after abandoning his community, OJ has proven in his interpersonal life to be a monster. I'm not perfect. None of us are perfect. None of us have not made mistakes. But OJ didn't make one mistake. OJ has a history of being abusive. OJ has a history of abandoning his community. OJ has a history of stalking. OJ has a history of terrorism. OJ has a history of disrespect, right? And we erase that history. Again, I'm not saying when people die, they got to be perfect. When I die, y'all might be like, Marc Lamont Hill was a real jerk to the people in Panera. Marc Lamont Hill was always late to chapter meetings. Whatever you want to say, you might say it. But it's all fair game. But OJ Simpson terrorized Nicole Brown Simpson. He pleaded no contest to a domestic violence charge against her in 1989. There were reports from the police that they were always going back and forth to that house, and the only reason they didn't arrest him, frankly, was because he was OJ. And who wants to arrest OJ Simpson? He charmed his way out because OJ moved into that white world and had them thinking that he was different. Because there are some white people who don't like Negroes, but they think Michael Jordan's different. Think about do the right thing. But Michael Jordan, he's not like a regular nigga. That's what they say. OJ Simpson, he's not like a regular nigga. He's like super nigga. And so OJ Simpson got a lot of passes, and it made him even more comfortable embracing the role of exotic Negro, special Negro, exceptional Negro, not Negro. This is what makes OJ OJ. But most of us don't even know OJ for that. We don't know him for being a Negro that escaped black people because we cheered for him anyway. We gave him awards even if he didn't show up to the Black Awards show. We called him one of the GOATs even if he didn't give a damn about our community. We watched him on TV and in movies even if he wouldn't dare do a black movie. You know why? Because we are a loving and forgiving OJ. But most of us don't even know OJ for that. We don't know him for being a Negro that escaped black people because we cheered for him anyway. We gave him awards even if he didn't show up to the Black Awards show. We called him one of the GOATs even if he didn't give a damn about our community. We watched him on TV and in movies even if he wouldn't dare do a black movie. You know why? Because we are a loving and forgiving people. But then we all came to know OJ Simpson because of what happened on June 12th, 1994. June 12th, 1994. That's when Nicole Brown Simpson, his wife, and her friend, her boyfriend, really, Ron Goldman, were stabbed to death outside of Nicole's condo in Brentwood. And the police went after OJ. And do you know why the police went after OJ? Because OJ did it.
My mic has been muted. I got to start over. So again. Mark says he did. OJ did. Now I recall there being a trial, you know, led by Johnny M. Cochran, head counsel for OJ Orenthal James Simpson. He had the likes of Robert Kardashian, the Kardashians' father, at least a couple of them, from what we understand. Apparently, Chloe is supposed to be OJ's kid or something. Who knows? And again, he was found not guilty. But here go Marc Lamont Hill said the reason that the police went after him is because he did it. Well, hell, Mark, the LAPD, I'm pretty sure if OJ did it and they could have sent him to prison, they would have. It's a lot to this story, man. When you just look into what happened, it's kind of hard to stab two people at the same time. Anyways, two women or something, okay, but Mark apparently is already sifted through all this. He's I like to call him Ted Bigelow. What's the Kojak? Deuce Bigelow. All that wrapped into what, man? Mark jumped off the bridge on this one, man. This was a horrible look from Cuz. Let's keep going. See what Mark got going on.
OJ killed those people.
Oh, wow.
OJ killed those people. The evidence is overwhelming that OJ killed Nicole Brown Simpson. The evidence is overwhelming that OJ killed Ronald Goldman.
It's not, bro.
The
It's not.
evidence
What evidence?
is so clear. From the Bruno Mali shoe prints to the blood in the car to the hands, the glove.
What
The
is
glove
he?
don't fit, you must have quit.
It
Yeah, the
didn't
glove
fit.
can fit. Nigga, if you told me I was going to prison, I wouldn't be able to fit in this room. You know what I mean? Of course the glove didn't fit.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yes, OJ Simpson's a monster.
Guess what? No,
OJ
he's not,
Simpson
bro.
should not be celebrated. OJ Simpson was not a hero of ours. OJ Simpson would not piss on
What?
black people if they were on fire. And yet um, somehow, we still celebrate him. See, somebody writing and saying, so an acquittal only counts when people feel it should. No, the acquittal counts. I'm not saying OJ should be in jail. I'm not saying OJ should be in prison. Similarly,
what are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying, Mark? You saying he shouldn't be in prison? He should. You just went through this whole soliloquy about he's a horrible person. He's a monster. He abused Nicole. He killed two people. Nigga, what do you want a person that's guilty of all these crimes? What else do you want them other than jail or hell? What are you talking about? So you cool with the monster just out here floating around? Well, what the fuck you make a video for? None of this makes any kind of sense, man. What?
Zimmerman killed Trayvon. That's a fact. George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin. George Zimmerman was found not guilty. I'm not saying the acquittal shouldn't count. I'm not saying we should ignore him and lynch him. I'm not saying we should put him in the prison, but I have a right to say I don't share a belief in his innocence. There's a difference between being factually innocent and being legally not guilty. OJ Simpson was legally not guilty. OJ Simpson should not have
I
been
have
found
no
guilty.
idea
You
what
know
he's
why?
talking about right
Because
now, bro.
there was a police officer, a racist police officer. It's really that simple. A racist police officer who, at the end of the day, lied about using the N-word. He lied. He had a history
Oh my
of lying.
God, bro. So listen, this is a perfect example if you don't know what you're talking about, bro, shut the fuck up. Mark wants the clicks. He just started describing Mark Furman, the dirt bags of the Dirt Mound gang. He says that what Mark Furman did to mess the case up is that he was accused that he lied about saying the N word. Is Mark serious right now? No, sir. Mark Furman planted evidence. Yeah, there's YouTube video of them asking him in court, are you guilty of planting evidence in this case? And you know what he did? Pled the fifth. So that's why that was the part that fed into the technicalities that led to OJ's innocence. You would not win a case based off the fact that an officer said nigga at some point in his career and lied about it. That would not trump a murder charge, a double homicide. Mark is, man, he just didn't even pass. He hit the ball to the outfield and just missed all bases. He just running. He just running out here. What is going on?
He had a history of racist acts. His name was Mark Furman. And Mark Furman is the reason why OJ Simpson spent the next few decades, minus his time in prison, as a free man living in that white world. So let's be very clear.
Really, man.
Let's be very, very clear. I'm not saying that OJ Simpson should have gone to prison.
What are you saying?
I'm saying that OJ Simpson was guilty of the crime. But we live in a racist criminal legal system. And I apologize for the bell, y'all. I apologize. I'll stop it, but I'm doing it live. I'll figure out how to stop it, but I can't stop it at this exact moment. So I'm going to need y'all to just deal with the fact that there's a bell at 11 o'clock.
Let me be real. PSA for you future content creators. Let me tell you something. You know, it's one thing to be able to go live and just keep your jargon and your flow going and not have to study and that's one thing. But take note that when you go live, sir, ma'am, or non-binary, however it goes, you are live, huh? You don't get the chance to go back and edit and repurpose. Now you can in post, but if you're going live, well, not even in post. If you're going live, if you're streaming, buddy, you had better have your ducks in a row because you ain't but like 3 words away from taking yourself down a direction that just make you look like a stone fool. So just keep that in mind when you go live, man. Unless you don't care about being clickbaity and getting called out for cold hot takes, whichever you want to call it. But be mindful of that when you going live. Hey, it's all on the line, Jack. Ain't no do-overs. You dig? Oh my God! I think I went all the way back. I don't. You know what? It don't even matter.
There.
Whoa.
Who are finger waving at black people, who are telling black people he murdered his wife and her boyfriend in a rage of jealous anger. A racist police officer. It's really that simple. A racist police officer who, at the end of the day, lied about using the N-word. He lied. He had a history of lying. He had a history of racist acts. His name was Mark Furman. And Mark Furman is the reason why OJ Simpson spent the next few decades, minus his time in prison, as a free man living in that white world. So let's be very clear. Let's be very, very clear. I'm not saying that OJ Simpson should have gone to prison. I'm saying that OJ Simpson was guilty of the crime. But we live in a racist criminal legal system. And I apologize for the bell, y'all. I apologize. I'll stop it, but I'm doing it live. I'll figure out how to stop it, but I can't stop it at this exact moment. So I'm going to need y'all to just deal with the fact that there's a bell at 11 o'clock in the middle of the day. I'll fix it, but I got to do this. OJ Simpson was um, OJ Simpson clearly killed people. So he abused his wife. He terrorized his community. He abandoned his community. He terrorized his wife. He abused his wife. He murdered his wife and her boyfriend in a rage of jealous anger. And then, after he was found not guilty because the legal system is racist, and he should have been, let me be very clear, he should have been found not guilty. OJ should have been found
What?
not guilty. But that's not a referendum on his character or his actions on June 12th in 94. It's a referendum on the system. The system did not make its case. There was reasonable doubt because of a racist cop. There was a
Oh
reasonable
my
doubt. Johnny
God.
Cochran did the job, but Johnny Cochran was about fighting a racist system. Johnny Cochran was about getting Geronimo Pratt out of prison. Johnny Cochran was about finding civil rights and fighting for civil rights for the vulnerable. Johnny Cochran and OJ are two different species. OJ Simpson just wanted to get out of trouble. And OJ Simpson got out of trouble because he had a brilliant team of lawyers, whether it was Kardashian, although he pulled out, whether it was Johnny Cochran, whether it was Bob Shapiro, they all stepped out and did their job well. And OJ is free. Fine. Fine. Now, being free because the state didn't make its case doesn't mean you're innocent. And it doesn't mean we have to love you. Just like Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent. Did the state make its case? Probably not.
Nigga, what is a we don't have to love you doesn't mean you're innocent. Nigga, if you're found not guilty, that means you're innocent. I mean, what dictionary is he reading from? If you go to court about a trial about something, right? There's two options. Well, there's other options, but generally, there's a guilty, there's a not guilty, right? A guilty means you're guilty, you did it, you're going to jail, you're serving some punishment. A not guilty means you didn't do it. We don't see that you did it. You get to go home. You're not guilty when you're found not guilty. What is he? What makes Marc Lamont Hill feel so confident in his assessment of OJ's guilt? I don't even get how is he so stupid and loud at the same time, bro? Like, what are you talking about? Is he a criminal defense lawyer? Is he privy to some information on the evidence that we don't know about? I just failed to get his angle, and he tripling and quadrupling down, man. This is weird work right here, Jack.
So Kyle Rittenhouse is innocent. Doesn't mean I gotta like Kyle Rittenhouse. Doesn't mean I gotta pretend Kyle Rittenhouse is a good person. Whole bunch of white people get free for killing Negroes. Sometimes because the system is racist, sometimes because the state legitimately didn't make its case. Either way, if you killed a black person and you didn't have to kill them, then yes, I don't like you. You're a monster. George Zimmerman is always going to be a monster to me. Darren Wilson is always going to be a monster to me. The cops that beat Rodney King, they were found not guilty. Doesn't mean that they were good people. And we ain't got to embrace them. OJ Simpson has not done a thing for black people of note. He didn't live for us. He didn't die for us. He didn't kill for us. We have nothing to do with OJ Simpson on a day-to-day level.
Whoa.
Now, at the same time,
he said something interesting just then, because I was sitting here thinking, like, okay, you just heard him say he didn't kill for us, which was a weird statement. Would it have been better if he killed a black lady? I was sitting here thinking, because he started with saying how much OJ stepped away from the black community, right? But then he goes on to call him how much of a monster he was about the acts he feel like he's guilty of, that they were committed against two white people. So what's the angle? It seems like maybe if OJ would have stayed in the black community and dated a black woman and then it happened, he would be cool with calling OJ a good guy. Like, I'm not even understanding Marc Lamont Hill. What are you doing, sir?
the There are white people out there who are about to throw a MFing parade. There are some white people out there who are finger waving at black people, who are telling black people
Okay.
how to feel about OJ, telling black people, how dare you
No,
talk about OJ Simpson? How dare you celebrate?
let's note, I scour the media. Now, of course, here in the last week or so, I've been a little busy, but I'm always on social medias and scrolling news feeds. I didn't see any white people out there saying, hey, don't be celebrating OJ Simpson today. What is, man, Mark, bro? Did Biden give OJ a day or something? So again, let's just be clear. There's no white people out there saying, hey, this is the way you should feel about OJ. I have no idea where Mark is getting this take from.
Him being found not guilty. We don't need this to be a time for white people to moralize about OJ Simpson either, because y'all white people out there that are rocking it and hating OJ Simpson, a lot of y'all weren't outraged when
You're
Kyle
one of them,
Rittenhouse was
Mark.
free. Y'all weren't outraged when George Zimmerman was free. Y'all weren't outraged when Darren Wilson was free. He was free. Y'all weren't outraged when the Rodney King beating happened and they were free. There are literally hundreds of thousands of cases where white people were found not guilty for harming black people. And y'all ain't said shit about it. It's only OJ that bothers y'all. So white people, you got to ask yourself, what is it about OJ that makes you so mad?
What is it about OJ that makes you
OJ
so mad,
Simpson's
Mark?
case that is so exceptional? He's not the only person that accused of murder, right? He's not the only person accused of violence. He's not the only person who seemingly had a strong case against him and was found not guilty, maybe on a technicality, maybe not, whatever you want, however you want to describe it. He ain't the only one. But white people are only mad at OJ Simpson. Y'all are fine with the criminal legal system when it's y'all getting off. Y'all hate it when it's OJ. OJ is a reminder that the world is racist. OJ is a reminder that the system is racist. OJ is a reminder that cops are racist. OJ forced y'all to deal with white supremacy. OJ forced y'all to.
What? Now okay. The pivot is now OJ's case was an opportunity to show how racist the system is. But again, for clarification purposes, OJ Simpson, a black man that was accused of murdering two white people, was found not guilty. In a racist system, that black man that was obviously innocent would have gone to jail. So, how did he expose the racist justice system if he was found not guilty, Marc Lamont Hill? But see, this is the pivot. This is what you call a pivot. He's trying to get into some better territory because I'm pretty sure the people in the comments tearing him apart.
Deal with structural racism. OJ forced y'all to look at the way that you hold Negroes in different light and to different standards than everybody else.
That didn't happen. That's not how that played out.
This is why you hate OJ. Yeah, you don't like that Nicole Brown Simpson was murdered and that Ronald Goldman was murdered. You shouldn't like that. It was disgusting. It was awful. Again, I don't celebrate anything that OJ did. But that ain't the same. That ain't the same. You all, there's some white people right now that are about to throw a parade because OJ's dead. Y'all gonna be doing second lines.
White people don't do second lines for clarification.
It's gonna be fascinating.
Maybe they do. I don't know.
To see what happens this week with white people and OJ. Y'all gonna act like it is the fall of Saddam Hussein, that Osama bin Laden was taken down. I mean, there's a way that white people are.
No, Mark, you act like Saddam Hussein was killed. You act like Osama bin Laden was captured. He talking about the white people gonna come out here celebrating that the monster OJ is dead. But mind you, I'm reviewing a video of Marc Lamont Hill saying that OJ sent. Look at his caption on the video. OJ Simpson was a monster, not a martyr. So no, Mark, we hadn't seen any white people celebrating OJ's death. We do, however, see your show celebrating OJ's death and calling him a monster. This nigga here is wild in this hill night. He must have been drinking or something.
Celebrating his death that is also bizarre and perverse.
Like this?
OJ Simpson.
He thought about it. Oh, you saw him think
OJ Simpson is a
it?
reminder of our system. OJ Simpson.
Don't miss that. Now it's complicated. See, had he started his video like that, all right, you know what? OJ Simpson was a complicated individual. Was he a monster or should he be a martyr? Let's talk about it. Bang! He'd have been on good track. But now he's trickling down from OJ was a monster, not a martyr. Well, his trial was an implication of the racist system, and now it's complicated. He's a complicated individual to discuss. I'm pretty sure the comments is tearing them to shreds.
Is a symptom of our system. So yes, when Black people celebrated OJ being found not guilty, we weren't cheering for murder. When OJ Simpson, I remember I was in high school. I remember my whole high school. I went to a Black high school. Almost everybody in my high school was Black. When we were cheering in the streets for OJ or cheering in the hallways for OJ, and I remember our white teachers were upset. One of the gym coaches, one of the gym teachers, one of the coaches, Dave Shukit, was like, "I can't believe you got away with murder." I said, "Sure you can. White people get away with murder all the time." And the Black people that were celebrating OJ's court victory weren't his acquittal. We weren't celebrating because we loved murder. We weren't necessarily celebrating because we believed in OJ's innocence. We were celebrating that finally the system was caught systeming, that finally a racist white supremacist system wasn't allowed to prevail. The not guilty verdict was the right verdict, but it wasn't right because OJ was innocent. It was right because the system cheated. And when you cheat, you lose.
Not necessarily true.
So as we talk about OJ, here's what I need us to do. I need us to talk about OJ with nuance. OJ killed.
Whoa. You heard that. He said what we need to do is talk about OJ with nuance. You started your video on the absolute side of the fence. You did what I'm saying. You didn't start with nuance, bro. You came in with a direct cause of action and lay out for how you gonna talk about OJ. But now you want everybody to, to just be inclusive with your information, man. Look at everything before you assess OJ. Completely different from what he did. This is a wild video, man.
OJ is a terrible person. OJ hated Black people. No, I mean, not say OJ hated Black people. OJ abandoned Black people. OJ didn't show any love or care for Black people. And at the same time, some of the people who hate OJ don't hate him for any of that. They hate him because he exposed, or his trial exposed, how fundamentally wicked and white supremacist America is. We have to hold space for all of those truths at the same time. We have to hold space for those truths at the same time.
What?
Somebody said, I remember the exact moment celebrating the verdict, but I do regret it. When you know better, you do better.
Man, get Nicole off the screen. Ain't talking about shit.
That's right. That's how I see it. When you know better, you do better. And we do know better about OJ, and so we must do better. Anyway.
Yeah.
I appreciate y'all for the conversation. I had to get that off my chest. I had to say it. I had to say it loud. I had to say it powerfully.
He's realizing the consequences of his actions.
Given my limited gifts, because I'm preparing myself for a week of 1994, 1995, even 1996 revisited. And what I mean by that is Black people on one side cheering for OJ and white people on the other side, jeering for OJ. And I'm saying we need some racial and intellectual and political and social and cultural complexity here. Black people, just because you have
What?
a critique of the system and just because you recognize the system was white supremacist and stacked against OJ, doesn't mean we now got to pretend that OJ died for us or that OJ was our hero or that OJ was our
Oh
brother
my
in all of this.
God.
He was not.
What is he talking about that he died for us? OJ wasn't a fucking activist. He was not Huey Newton. What is he talking about? He didn't die for us. So we just supposed to be like, fuck OG, he did. Fucking kids and his family being sad. What is Mark talking about? He didn't die for us. Nigga, he dead is the overarching thing. Oh my God. We almost at the end of this, man. And I'm telling you, I'm about tired of Mark.
That's not who OJ was. And I'm not going to rewrite history to do that. Somebody said, how did he abandon black people? What was he supposed to be doing? Well, OJ didn't give to black causes. OJ didn't invest in black communities. OJ didn't spend any
How
time
do
with
you
black people. OJ didn't marry a black woman after he left his first wife for the world of whiteness. And OJ, by all accounts, by everybody who talks to him, who knows him, who I've heard from or spoken to, and I don't have some personal relationship. I'm talking about from interviews on TV, but also that I've conducted, but also that I've watched, and also all the biographies, everything.
Yeah, in other words, Mark don't know a goddamn thing about OJ Simpson, his close circle of friends, what charities he donated to, who he hung with in his free time. Mark was in high school when OJ was doing this thing. He just said he could have lied and been like, man, I know some sources in LA that were really close to him. He just said he don't know nothing more than what we saw in the documentaries and hearing interviews. But this nigga got the strongest opinion on this man's guilt or innocence and how horrible of a person he was in life. But he ain't watched nothing no more than what we've watched. But he's gleaned this strong opinion. Boy, Mark, I started this video just want to make a reaction video just clowning on you. But the more I watched it, because I hadn't watched the whole thing, I couldn't make it through. But now I'm damn near through the whole thing. Like, this lame as hell. What are you talking
That
about,
OJ
man?
wasn't interested in him being around the black community. He preferred to be around white people. He preferred to have an all
So
white world.
what, bro?
So if he
So what?
doesn't celebrate us, if he doesn't invest in us, if he doesn't identify with us, if he doesn't associate with us, then why the hell do we not think he abandoned us? And you say, what was he supposed to be doing? He was supposed to be doing the opposite. How are you gonna be that rich and not invest in um how are you gonna
Right.
not invest in your own
You have
community?
no idea what he did or didn't.
How do you not
How do you
invest in the
know?
neighborhoods that you grew up in? How do you not invest in the systems and the structures that sustained you and produced you, OJ? How do you not improve the ones that held you back? I'm not saying OJ abandoned us because he married a white woman. That's just a symptom of a very consistent
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Because that's the only thing that you got that you know for
pattern
sure.
with OJ, which is he wanted no parts of anything that made him identifiably black. That's why when they were talking about the race stuff in the trial, and OJ was saying, I'm not black, I'm OJ. He was saying, like, I'm not one of y'all. I transcend race. He wasn't denying his blackness. I want to be very clear. I'm not going to make a straw man out of him. But what he was doing was saying, I'm not one of y'all. White people don't see me as black. They see me as OJ. I've transcended race. Well, how's that working out for you?
He's dead, dickhead. What do you mean? He just died, bro.
Somebody said Candace has been. I'm not sure what Candace Owens has to do with this, but yes, Candace has been anti-black. I don't think we should be celebrating Candace Owens either. I don't get the argument.
I don't get your argument, Mark.
77 figures, who's a member of the channel, says so. Nigga like to golf, play tennis, and f white women. So what? To each his own. That may be your philosophy.
It should be yours. Because you
That's
lame
not
for this
mine.
tape, bro.
I'm only expressing mine. But let's be clear: the issue here isn't that he played golf. It's not that he played tennis. I know lots of black people that play golf, play tennis, and have white friends for that matter. Some of them even mess around with white women, but they don't completely abandon and disassociate from their community.
Oh,
And that is the
God,
thing
this nigga.
that
Oh,
that I'm
my
talking about.
God. Ugh, you ain't talking about nothing, Mark.
That's what I'm talking about. Man, y'all use this Candace, OJ, and many others how stuff. Why is Candace Owens coming up in this conversation? I'm not even
Cause
criticizing.
you
I'm trying to
sound
understand
like
why.
her,
We talking
bro.
about OJ. Why does Candace keep coming up? I think I missed a point about Candace. I'm trying to find it. Oh yeah, Amakisi said he was open about his preference. Yes, OJ was very clear that he preferred white women.
So why you talking about it then?
Does Candace Owens what? I'm not sure what the Candace Owens question is, but the question is, does Candace Owens? I've never seen Candace Owens move exactly the way OJ does. But if you're talking about
What?
kind of anti-blackness and critiques, then yeah, sure.
Oh my
I'm not.
God. Bro just said he's never seen Candace Owens move quite in the way that OJ does. Nigga, scour your Google right now and see how many pictures you can find of Candace Owens with black people. Politics by Tabitha is somebody I follow. You can go to her page. You can go and see Candace Owens at her wedding. All white people. Her baby shower. It was about 30 women in the picture. Candace Owens was the only black lady. She worked or she did work for. Come on, man. So he said he's seen OJ Simpson be more of a coon than Candace Owens. Mark drunk tonight, bro. I'm gonna give him some gray. Mark drunk. He ate an edible or something.
Defending
He did.
Candace, so
That's what it is.
sure, you have a critique of Candace. That I'm not against your critique of Candace. But I also don't want to equate Candace and OJ because remember, my issue with OJ isn't just that he don't rock with black people in the social world. It's also that he killed 2 people in cold blood with his bare hands and maybe with a knife.
He was found not guilty. Let's keep that in mind.
Action.
Yeah, okay. Not guilty.
So it's abuse, murder, abandonment. All 3 of those. I don't think Candace's political opinions, which I don't always agree with, are anywhere remotely comparable. They're not even on the same planet as what OJ said.
Well, he may have a point. I don't even know the point he's trying to make, but we do remember when Candace Owens came out with her vitriol about George Floyd and how he shouldn't be a martyr to the community. This sounds one and the same. You dig? Yeah, man.
Simpson is, and I'm not gonna pretend and make a false equivalency of that because I don't think that that's reasonable or fair. But if you're just talking about the third piece of it, which is anti-blackness, sure. Again, I'm not defending Candace, but like Sabrina said, Candace didn't knock nobody off, right? OJ actually was murdering people. Bullhead says OJ was found innocent of murder. OJ was not found innocent of murder. OJ was found not guilty of murder. Courts can make under special circumstances a designation of innocent. They did not do that. You know why? Because no one thinks OJ Simpson is innocent.
Oh my God. So a commenter just said OJ was found innocent of murder. Marc Lamont says, no, OJ wasn't found innocent of murder. He was found not guilty. What is the difference, bro? Now he was like, oh, now the courts can make a distinction. Well, the courts didn't make a distinction, sir. You're trying to make one. For all intents and purposes, not guilty and innocent mean the same thing. Mean you coming home. You're not going to prison. He just trying to make. Oh man, bro, this was cringe as fuck, man.
That's why in the civil trial he was found not guilty. Huh? OJ was found not guilty because there was reasonable doubt. And of course there was reasonable doubt. You had somebody on the police force who was morally inept, corrupt, and racist. Investigating OJ, of course that taints the case. It taints the investigation. OJ should have been found not guilty because of that. But OJ has spent the next 30 years taunting the family of the people he killed, making jokes about it, writing a book, If I Did It. Who gets acquitted of murder and then writes a book, If I Did It?
OJ did.
Here's how I would have done.
That's
Like,
it.
it's disgusting. OJ clearly killed these people. And Sabrina said, y'all really believe OJ had nothing to do with his ex-wife getting? I mean, it's like, come on, y'all. As Black people, we don't have to choose. Oh,
Hey, no one said he had nothing to do with it. I can imagine in the world, from the research I've done, or at least just watched the stuff that Mark has watched, I could surmise and see a situation where he paid someone to do it. We never said he didn't have anything to do with it. He wasn't just dumbfounded. He was in and around. But to think that OJ just was able to stab two people up like that, you watch enough crime shows, and that's not likely. But we never said that his hands were clean. We said that we believe, or that we know, he was found not guilty of committing the act, the actual physical act. Mark moving the goalpost, man.
OJ. We don't. Stop choosing people who don't love y'all. OJ didn't give a damn about y'all. We don't have to pretend.
This man.
We don't have to pretend that OJ was our family. It's okay. OJ killed somebody. We don't have to rock with him. OJ didn't rock with us. We don't have to rock
You
with
don't
him.
have to rock with him.
OJ
I
is
rock
dead.
with OJ, for the record.
We don't have to
I
rock
fuck
with
with
him.
OJ.
We won't make him a
We
hero
don't
in
gotta.
life. We shouldn't have anyway. And we damn sure don't have to make him a martyr now. Anyway, y'all, that's my word. We'll be more on this tonight. I'll be talking about it on my show. It's called Night School. If y'all don't know about Night School, make sure you check it out. Night School is my nightly show, Monday to Thursday. So today's the last episode of the week, Monday to Thursday, right here on the Marc Lamont Hill official YouTube.
All right, man. So we have approached the end of our time here, man. That was a horrible take, bro. The man is dead of cancer. He was found not guilty of murder. I just continue to have to reiterate this. He did not only get found not guilty because Mark Furman lied about saying the N word. That's not the full story of that. His trial, it was supposed to have been an expose of the racist system, but he didn't get found guilty, so I don't see how that's relevant. The only thing I heard Mark say that was cool was that OJ Simpson was a complicated character in real life. And as long as we apply the actual factuals to what we know happened and not some Tubi investigation or some shit that we done went through, we have to give that man his flowers for what we know to be a fact, and that he was a great football player. He went through a trial for the murder of his wife and her friend. He was found not guilty. Down the road some years, he was involved in a robbery for some of his memorabilia that he said had been taken from him unlawfully and was being auctioned off at a Las Vegas motel. Him and some of his partners went in there to get it. One of his partners had a gun, so they basically charged him with kidnapping and all of that. Gave OJ 25 years, making up for him getting off of the murder charge. Those are the facts of OJ's life. Who he slept with, why he slept with him, what projects he went and bought, cleaned up, how many book bags he gave out. Don't matter, bruh. That has nothing to do with you basically slandering this man's name. If I was OJ Kid, I'd mess around and want to see Mark, man. Because Mark jumped out there crazy. That was just stupid. That was just a dumb video all the way around. So my last 3-4 days been pretty busy, man. But I could not get this little thing off my mind. So that was my first foray back into this thing after about 3-4 days of busy life. So this has been That Way with Jack Travis, man. Y'all stay tuned. You know how we coming. You know how we coming, man. I'll be back soon. Loud.